Number 8, it looks intimidating. It's not. Everything we're going to do, we're going to fill in around. We're going to use our parallel lines and use our Z-meisters. We're going to look and open our eyes for triangles, and then everybody will be filled in. So let's see. I'm going to start with this 70 right here. Right beside it, its linear pair is going to have to be 110, making this 110, and angle 1 has to be 70 because, again, vertical angles. I see a 120 right here, so right here has to be 120. Right here is going to be 60 to make a linear pair, and then it's vertical 60. Okay, any more fill-ins around? Nope, don't see any more fill-ins around. So let's deal with our parallel lines. Who's parallel? It says A and B are parallel. So you got A right here and B right here. Do you see Z-meisters? Well, first thing I see is I see a Z-meister right here. And that's what I like to look for. I like to look for those because those are usually the hidden things. So if this corner's 80, he's 80, which makes 2 have to be 80 because those are vertical angles, making this 100 and this 100. All right, what about right here? What do you see right here? Another Z-meister. That corner's 70, so he's 70. So right by him is 110. And again, could have used corresponding where we picked up these 4 and slid them down here, but it all works out the same either way. So I then have 70. Now I'm like, okay, what else do I have? Well, it looks like it's time to maybe go to some Z-meisters, or not Z-meisters, excuse me, time to go to some triangles. So let's look at some triangles. Now, an obvious triangle is right here. Most of us would see this. 100 plus 60 is 160, so this guy is 20 right here. But do you notice this triangle? The big triangle. Don't let that be hidden. This corner's 80, this corner's 70, that adds up to 150. That makes 4 has to be 30. And now this little triangle, you have 60 and 30 is 90. This has to be 90, forcing its linear pair 90, vertical 90, and 90. Now you filled in all those guys. Well, what about over here? Well, let's change color just to make it pretty. A couple ways to get it, but here's the way, or other things we could do first, but let's do that. See that big triangle? I see 20, 140, that's 160, 160, and 20, right? Yeah. Now let's come down to this little triangle. 70 and 60 is 130, so we have 50, and then that makes this 130 because, again, straight line, linear pair has to add up to 180. This, oops, I wrote the wrong number, 130, and then right here, 50. You're like, what about right in here? Doesn't ask it, but we could get it quickly because we have a Z-meister. This is 50, so this guy is what, 50. Of course, the other option, just going to point out, you could have gone for a what right here. Boom, triangle. Always open your eyes to triangles. A lot of times we're just looking for the small one. Open your eyes to the big ones that go all across a bunch of different lines. There we have problem 8, filled in everything pretty easily just using those few ideas that we know.